What's up, family? Man, I don't even know where to start. I don't even know where to start. Um, we live in crazy times. We live in crazy times. You know what I mean? Interesting times, man. And yet it's still beautiful. You know what I mean? It's still beauty. I'm out here in nature, man. Just listening to the birds. You know what I mean? Just listening to the birds. You know, this is my sanctuary. You know, this is where I come and I just I woosah, you know what I mean? Man, this is my paradise right here. You know what I mean? I love being in nature. That being said, anytime I have a real heartfelt video, man, you're gonna find me out in nature. You know what I mean? You're gonna find me in nature where I could ground and I could be amongst the birds. I could be amongst all the positive, beautiful energy. You know what I mean? I need my ancestors. I need God. I need nature. I need the birds, the animals. You know, I need all of that extra energy for support. You know what I mean? When I'm getting ready to go on one. You know what I mean? And today I think we're going to go on one. You know, I think we're about to go on one. And I say we live in interesting times. We live in crazy times. I still live in California. In the state of California, as do most of the United States, have laws in place. And I'm saying this again. I lived in California. And California, like a lot of the United States, have laws in place to where if you're in your house, your own home, and it appears as though these gangbangers or these thugs, these criminals, break into your house. Stay with me, we're going somewhere, and we're gonna go somewhere, and it's gonna get deep, and some of you are gonna get pissed off, and it is what it is, and you already know I don't give a damn. You know what I mean? I don't care. If you're in your house, minding your own business, you ain't bothering nobody, you just doing what you do. You and your wife doing y'all thing, y'all kids in the room, y'all doing what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? You're just living your life. You have a good job, your wife is a good job, or she's a teacher, whatever the case may be. You pay your taxes, you go to church, you do whatever it is that you do, right? You're minding your own business. And these hoodlums, these thugs, break into your house with guns. They kick the door open, they smash in the windows, and they come into your house. And you see that they have guns, and you pull yours, and you shoot them, and they die. In the state of California and in other states in America, you can be sued and prosecuted for excessive force. If you don't believe me, go look it up. I know people that got put in prison for this. I'm gonna say it again. In the United States of America, the country I live in, the country I love, you know what I mean? I love the world, you know what I mean? But this is the country I live in. This is my home. It has good in it, and it has some crazy shit in it too, okay? In this country, in certain states, in a lot of states, if these people break into your house with weapons, and you shoot and kill them because you're trying to defend your property, you're trying to protect your family, you're scared of what they're gonna do to your kids, you're scared of what they're gonna do to your wife, you're scared of what they're gonna do to your daughter and to your son. You see that they have weapons, and you shoot and kill them. Whether you shoot them one time, send them ass one shot in his head, it don't matter. If you shoot and kill them, in the state of California and in other states, you can be sued by that person's family, and you could be prosecuted for using excessive force. Just because it's the law doesn't mean that it's legit. Just because it's accepted doesn't mean that it's appropriate. I know there's a lot of people that are against guns, and this is not about guns. This is not about guns at all. But I'll be damned if you're gonna come into my house and think that because you got guns and I got one too, and I bow, and now you drop. You shouldn't have been there. Nobody asked you to come to my house. It's obvious I didn't ask you to come to my house. You kicked open the door. You bashed in the window. You have a weapon. You came with the intent of doing some destruction. You came with the intent of harming. Just because I got off first, don't give you the right to sue me. In the state, in the California state, it does. In other states, it does. Why am I having this conversation? Because I'm going to tell you guys something. I'm going to be as real and transparent as possible. I'm all about love. I'm all about manifesting love. I'm all about growth and development. Okay? I'm all about that. But there has to come a time, and there's no but. This is all part of growth and development. This is all about love. There comes a time, and because we have a twisted conception, a twisted notion of what love is, the truth is we pussified love. Oh, we're going in today. We're going in. We made love such a sissified thing. We made love such an unmanly thing. What am I talking about? And I know all these people, violence, you know, there's never justification for violence and whoop and all that other bullshit. Is it violent for me to defend my family? Is it violent for me to protect what's mine? Is it violent for me to keep you from doing some stupid shit to my kids, to my woman? I'm not sitting there calling the fucking cops and waiting for them to show up. I know cops. I personally know cops. And I'm going to tell you what they are. They're data collectors. And what I mean by that, after the crime has occurred, they come in and collect the data. They come in and do an investigation. The crime is already done. So if you sitting in your house and you waiting on 911 for them to show up, and you got thugs in your house that broke into your place, you better have something to defend what's yours. You better have something to defend your kids, your loved ones. I'm all about love. I will go see God any day of the week when it comes to mine. What do I mean by that? Because I talk about God, because I talk about love, and because I talk about peace and joy and all this other stuff. Don't get this shit fucking twisted. Don't get it twisted at all. I'm a man. And as a man, I'm not talking under this pseudo, fake, false, pretentious man that society claims to have out there. You're not going to disrespect me and mine. You can say what the fuck you want to say about me. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to go in today. I don't give a damn what you say about me. But when you start putting my mouth, my wife, my kids in your mouth, when you start doing some stupid shit like that, you break into my house, it's on. It's on. And because I have love for mine, I'm going to harm you. Because I have love for mine, you might not be walking out. The odds are you won't be walking out. And it's not that I don't love. I do love. I am love. We've so neutered manhood. We've so neutered masculinity into this country. So we got all these people talking about, man, I'd rather have a weak man of God than a man of God that's violent. I'd rather have a weak man of God than a man of God that prays than a man of God that's going to do some public violence or slap somebody in public. Let me tell these ignorant ass, dumb ass Christians, fake ass Christians that don't know their Bible. In the old days, When I say old days, 15, 20 years ago, there was this saying, what would WWJD, what would Jesus do? See, y'all motherfuckers don't ask that question no more. Y'all don't want to know what Jesus would do. Y'all want to just sit there, well, thus said the Lord God, and Jesus said that. You missed it. You missed it. You missed it. Case in point, the Bible talks about Jesus coming to the temple. I believe it was during Passover season. And when you know something about the Jewish culture, Passover was a high holiday. It was a holy day. It was one of the highest holidays. Kind of like the Oscar awards. It was grand. People from miles and miles away, everybody came to the temple. Everybody came to Jerusalem during that time frame because it was a holy day. It was a holy convocation. So people came from miles and miles and miles and miles away for that holy day. And so, peep this out. So you have all these people here, all these outsiders, people that are coming in, people that don't live here, plus all the people that lived here. So you got all these people coming into the temple, coming into the city. And Jesus and the disciples come in. And they see all this stuff taking place in the temple. Check this out. Jesus, the Son of God. Jesus, the man that walked on water. Jesus, the man that spoke to death and Lazarus had to come forth. Jesus, the man that walked on water. Jesus, the man that spoke to the storm and the storm had to shut the fuck up. Jesus, the man that spoke to sicknesses and illnesses and disease. Jesus, the man that spoke to demons and they all had to go. If anybody had the ability to speak to a problem, it was Jesus. I'm going somewhere today. Jesus spoke to death, and death had to let Lazarus go. Jesus spoke to diseases, blindness, death, crippledness, all kinds of shit. Jesus. There was a storm. He was out on the boat with the disciples, and a storm came up, and they were all tripping, and Jesus said, peace, be still. So he said, and the storm had to shut the fuck up and sit down. The storm had to calm down. All Jesus said was peace, be still. 3 words. Here it is. Jesus, who's done all this stuff. Jesus, who has the ability to speak life into any situation. Jesus, who has the ability to bring calmness to any situation. Jesus, who has the ability to bring immediate change to any situation. Jesus walks in and he sees what's taking place in the temple. Jesus, we all say that we Christian, not we, but because I don't say I'm a Christian. Because I don't want to be associated with none of these Christians out here, because I'm not like them at all. Jesus, Christian, what does it say to be Christian? To be Christian is supposed to be Christ-like. I'm going to say it again. To be a Christian is to be Christ-like. If we're Christ-like, then how come the motherfuckers today ain't doing Christ-like shit? Let me say it again. If you a Christian today and you Christ-like, then how come you ain't doing Christ-like shit? How come you doing shit like everybody the fuck else? How come your belief system is like everybody else's? I'm going somewhere. We ain't got started yet. I'm just laying the foundation. Jesus comes into the temple with all these people coming into Jerusalem because of the holy day. Jesus walks in, sees what's taking place, and it's okay for everybody else. Nobody else has a problem what's going on. Stay with me. Everybody's seeing what Jesus saw. Ain't nobody mad. Ain't nobody doing nothing. Ain't nobody pissed off about what they see. It's acceptable. Jesus is the only one that get pissed. Jesus, the only one that takes action. Jesus, who could have spoke to the situation. He decided to take action. Jesus, who could have just said something to the priest and to everybody else. He could have spoke it to them. He was that powerful. He spoke to demons and they had to go. He spoke to the weather, to the storm, and they had to calm down. He spoke to death, and death had to let go of his grip. And yet in this situation, Jesus didn't say nothing until after he took action. And what I mean he took action, Jesus, the Bible says that Jesus went and made a whip. He made a whip, and black people know what a whip does. Anybody that know American history and know how people have treated black slaves in this country know what a whip does. We can sit there and act all sadistic we want to. We can sit there and try to diminish the narrative all we want to. Jesus made a whip. And if you look at any pictures of slavery in America, you see the damage a whip does. When you see any picture of what black people went through in this country in the 50s and the 60s and during slavery, and you look at their backs and how they were whipped and scarred from a whip. From a whip. It's Jesus. He made a weapon. A whip is a weapon. It's a painful weapon. That's why he got whipped, because he wanted to show you how painful a whip was. He made a whip here. And at the end, towards the end of his life, he's whipped. Before he has to carry his cross, he's whipped, publicly whipped. So Jesus knows. He knows the pain and suffering that can come from a whip. Everybody around knows the pain and suffering that can come from a whip. So what did Jesus do? Jesus makes a whip. Doesn't say anything to anybody. After he makes his whip, they're in the temple. Everybody's in the temple. And they're selling doves. And they're selling all these animals. And all this stuff. They got all these tables all over the place. All this money being made in the church. Kind of like how it is today. Tables everywhere. Animals everywhere. Why? To be sold for offering. To be sold as a sacrifice. So you got all these businesses inside the church. That's prophetic because that's what the church has become today. A fucking business. That's all it is a fucking business. And nobody had a problem with it but Jesus. None of the people had a problem with the church becoming a business. The preachers and the teachers, the priests didn't have a problem with it. The merchants and the business people didn't have a problem with the church becoming a business. So what did Jesus do? Jesus makes his whip, goes into the church, goes into the temple, and just starts turning over all of the fucking tables. Money flying everywhere. And then he starts chasing all the people out of the temple with the whip. He starts chasing all the animals out of the temple with the whip. Ain't nothing about that positive. Ain't nothing about that nice. Ain't nothing about that passive. That's what Jesus did. And he was unapologetic for it. Jesus, the man who spoke to death. Jesus, the great miracle worker. Jesus, the man who walked on water. Jesus, the man who raised the dead. Jesus, who took a few fishes and a few pieces of bread and blessed it and multiplied it and fed 5,000 and thousands of people. Jesus, who speaks to problems. Jesus, who speaks to situations, and those situations have to change. Jesus didn't speak to the situation. Jesus took action. Jesus made a weapon. Jesus messed up their money. And if y'all know, no, don't act new. Countries go to war over money. People die every day in the streets behind money. And so here it is. Jesus comes in, starts flipping over all these tables, money scattering everywhere. Total chaos. Total chaos. He has his whip and he's chasing the people out, chasing the animals out. And then he speaks. Then he speaks. Why am I bringing that up? Because those same people, all you fake ass Christians today, all you self-righteous, arrogant, narcissist, pompous ass people today that talk about Will Smith was wrong for slapping the shit out of Chris Rock publicly. He should have handled this shit differently. Whoop. That's not what Jesus did. When Jesus saw a fucking problem, Jesus handled it right then and there. Jesus had a weapon with him. I know y'all don't want to hear this shit. I know this don't go along with your fucking religious dogma. But it's biblical. It's Bible. Jesus messed up their money. It is said that's when the priest, the high priest, and everybody else said, oh no, this fool messing up our money. He got to go. He got to die. He got to die. We was okay with him doing all this other shit. He done came in and fucked up our money now. He got to go. It's not up for discussion, not up for debate. He got to go. There has to come a time where we just stop talking about shit. There has to come a time where we stand up for what we believe in. There has to come a time where, no, we ain't talking about shit. Right is right and wrong is wrong, and I don't give a fuck what anybody say. I don't give a fuck if it goes against the fucking rules. I don't give a fuck if it goes against the norms of society. In society today, it's okay for guys to walk around with their pants hanging down their fucking ass. That's acceptable. Don't mean it's fucking right. And again, to each their own. Everybody do what the hell you want to do. That's the society we live in. That's the society we live in. We're fucking hypocrites. We sit here and we want to talk about bullying and we want to talk about mental health and whoop and all this other stuff. But then we okay it and say it's okay when we telling jokes. You can't have it both ways. You can't say that these kids who are telling jokes at school and clowning on these other little kids and picking on them without touching them, just talking about them, talking about how they dress, talking about how they look. We can't say that that's a bully. We can't say that they should be punished for that. We can't say that their parents should be punished for that. And then turn around and make it perfectly okay for a grown-ass man to get up and publicly humiliate another person and then say it was a joke. You're a fucking hypocrite. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't give a fuck what your title is. I don't give a fuck how much money you got. You're a fucking hypocrite. We sit here and we talk, man, we should outlaw bullying, and bullying's not acceptable, and woo, and we gotta protect these little kids that get bullied. We gotta protect these girls that get bullied, and woo. We're all against the bullies at school. But then it's okay for a president to get up and talk about somebody's handicap. It's okay for a president to get up and talk about other people. It's okay for a fucking comedian to get up and talk about other people. And you say it's just a joke. All them little badass fucking kids that are bullying people at school, it's a fucking joke to them too. They just having fun. They just trying to make people laugh. I'm not sanctioning, I'm not condoning what those little kids are doing at school. Bullying. I don't condone any bullying at all. At all. Whether it's at school or whether you get paid millions of dollars to do it. You could tell fucking jokes without talking about somebody else. You could tell fucking jokes without having it come at the expense of somebody else. Got all these people. Man, I'm constitutionist. What about the Constitution that says it's okay for you to tell a joke at the stake of somebody else's? Isn't that a violation of the Constitution? Just think about this for a second. Because the Constitution says that you can impinge or infringe upon somebody else's life to live a happy, whatever life. I can't just come out and just start doing stupid shit to you. I can't come on and cause you any harm in any way, shape, or form. If you're telling a fucking joke and it's offensive to somebody else, and you're telling a joke based on the way somebody looks, that's a violation. That's a violation of your fucking Constitution. But oh, it's just a joke. It's just humor. It's just fun. Toughen up. Tell that to them all little kids at school. Tell that to all the little kids who committed suicide. Tell that to the grown people who've committed suicide behind somebody bullying them. Tell that to those grown people who couldn't take it no more and came back to work and just shot up the motherfucking place. And now you want to label them as a bully. Now you want to label them as being antisocial. Now you want to give them all these scientific terminologies and labels and throw them up in prison or put them in a hospital somewhere. What's that got to do with Will Smith slapping Chris Rock? There has to come a time where every man, every woman, man, you're going to have to stand up on your own 2 feet. You're going to have to stand up on your own 2 feet. You're going to have to stand up for what you believe in. And not give a damn what the rest of the world think. Not give a damn who feelings you hurt. Or what the norm is. Jesus didn't give a damn what the religious people thought about him. He didn't give a damn about that while he was making the whip. He didn't give a damn about that when he was flipping over the tables and scattering their money everywhere. He didn't give a damn about that as he was chasing them the fuck out with the whip that he made. When are you going to learn to stand on your own 2 feet? And when you learn to stand on your own 2 feet, what principles are you standing on? See, I know I'm a child of God. I don't need that validation from nobody else. I don't need somebody that's in some religious group, some spiritual movement, any of that other bullshit to tell me that I'm a child of God. I'm a man of God. I know who the hell I am. I know who's the hell I am. And it's crazy to me how all these religious people, all these self-righteous, pompous-ass fucking people want to talk about, well, he was wrong for defending the integrity of his wife. Because, see, it went further. It was deeper than just that haircut. It wasn't even about the, I can't even say the word, the disease that she has. It was about that, but it was deeper than that. Check this out. Demi Moore was accused, the same person who did G.I. Jane 1, the same actress who did G.I. Jane, later had an affair with a young guy, a whole lot younger than her. A whole lot younger than her. And it was public. It was public. Everybody knew. They were dating. This young guy is the actor. I can't think of his name. Kushner. I can't think of the kid's name. The young man's name. But Demi Moore, who played G.I. Jane 1, and she had to shave her hair off for that role. And then years later, she had an affair with this young kid. She may have been 20-something, 30 years older than him. But she had an affair with this kid, this young guy. And so when Chris Rock knew all this shit. When Chris Rock get up and make that joke, putting her in the same category as Demi Moore, what Chris Rock was doing was double of just the hair thing. That was an insult all by itself. That was blasphemous all by itself. He should have got the shit slapped at him just for that. But because of the joke that he told and the implications with that joke attached to the young lady who played the original role was, oh yeah, you shaved your hair and you caught up in an affair with a younger guy, just like Demi Moore. There was no accident in that joke. Regardless of Jada Pinkett's actions, regardless of her infidelity, regardless of her issues, because ain't none of us perfect. Not one of us is perfect. And so we want to sit up on our fucking high horse and dog everybody else. Oh, because she had an affair and she was doing. I don't condone her affair. I don't give a damn about that shit. And see, that's the thing with Christians I can't fucking stand. You motherfuckers want to sit there and condemn everybody else's sin because their sin ain't like your fucking sin. You sin every fucking day. But because you don't sin like they sin, you put they sin down. Your sin is acceptable. Your sin is, I'm just a work in progress. God's working with me. How come he can't be working with her? You self-righteous motherfucker. And so, when Chris Rock said the joke, he was way out of line. He was way out of line. It's even reported that Chris Rock did a documentary on black women's hair. So he knows how sensitive the hair subject is for black women. That wasn't something new to him. Everybody talks about, well, Will Smith should have just handled that differently. Will Smith should have just talked about that to him afterwards. Will Smith could have just got up and been a man and just said da-da-da-da-da afterwards. Okay, so Jesus wasn't a fucking man when he pulled up, made up a fucking whip and went into the fucking temple, the church, and started chasing all these motherfuckers out. Jesus wasn't a fucking man when he started just turning over fucking tables and throwing money every fucking where. Because according to your fucked up standards, your fucked up expectation, Jesus should have just talked to them. He talked to every goddamn thing else. He talked to the demons. He talked to the storm. He talked to death. He talked to sicknesses and illnesses. How come he couldn't just talk to them? I know y'all ain't gonna like this. It is what it is. I'm not anti-Christian. I'm anti the hypocrisy. I don't agree with the hypocrisy. I don't agree with the foolishness. I don't agree with the ignorance. I don't agree with the self-righteousness. I don't agree with the bullshit. And I don't give a fuck whether you like me or not. I'm gonna always tell the truth. You might not like it. Just because you don't like it don't mean it ain't the truth. Jesus could have easily spoken to those people. Jesus, according to you motherfuckers, he should have sent them an email. He should have sent them a TikTok video. He should have sent them a Twitter. He should have sent them a fucking Instagram. Something, a text message, something. He didn't have to handle the shit that way. He went the fuck off. And according to everybody around him, he went the fuck off for no apparent reason. Because everybody else was okay with it. It wasn't a big deal to anybody else. it was acceptable to everybody else. We got to get it together. We got to get together. We got to stop faking the funk. We have to stop faking the funk. We got to stop faking and acting like we men. We got to stop faking and acting like we righteous. You got to stop faking the funk and acting like you all Jesus. You all into Jesus. You Jesus for everything. But yet you motherfuckers don't want to walk like Jesus. You motherfuckers don't want to live like Jesus. But Jesus is your answer for everything. Jesus stood up and took action. You motherfuckers want to sit on your fucking ass and quote scriptures. Jesus took action. You motherfuckers want to sit there and quote law and the repercussions, and he might get sued. According to many historians, that's what got Jesus the death sentence. That right there is what got Jesus his death sentence. Because he fucked up their money. At some point, you have to man the fuck up. At some point, you have to woman the fuck up. And damn all consequences. You motherfuckers talking about you can't wait to get to heaven. Okay, if you gotta die to get your ass to heaven, man, today's a good day. If I gotta die for my beliefs, here I am. I'm not gonna sell my fucking soul to compromise with y'all ignorant asses because you don't like it. We got to get rid of this hypocrisy. We got to get rid of this double standard. We got to get rid of this foolishness. Hear the red to a hawk. We got to get rid of the foolishness. Man, we have to learn how to become men again. Because we've lost that in this country. We've lost that. And our women don't know what a real man is anymore. Everybody talks about how Jesus was a perfect example. But according to today's standards, according to today's beliefs and shit, you motherfuckers wouldn't like Jesus. You motherfuckers would be condemning Jesus. You motherfuckers would be blasting Jesus. The truth is, if Jesus walked on the planet today, just showed up, the great majority of the people that say that they follow Jesus or Yahshua, whatever you call him, the great majority of these people would not even know him. The great majority of these people would not even recognize him. We got to get it together. We have to acknowledge the fact that we got some fucked up thought processes. You can't grow until you acknowledge that your thought process is fucked up. You can't grow until you acknowledge that your belief system is twisted. You holding on to your fucking belief system that's toxic and destructive for you. You're holding on to these belief systems and these stupid ass rules and shit because you're afraid of the fucking consequences. Jesus didn't give a damn about the fucking consequences of his actions. Right was right and wrong was wrong. End of conversation. We're not gonna debate it. He didn't give a fuck if everybody else thought it was okay. He didn't give a fuck if everybody else was like, oh, all right. There's no big deal. He showed them that it was a big deal. It may not have been a big deal to everybody else, but he showed them that it was a big deal to him. It was a big deal to him. He didn't give a fuck about the consequences. He knew that the soldiers and anybody else could have stormed at him. But you can't go before your fucking time. Y'all so fucking spiritual, so know it all. Y'all scared of death. Y'all scared of fucking consequences. You can't go before your time. Who are you fucking connected to? Are you really connected to God like you say you are? Or are you just faking the fucking funk? Because if you're really connected to God like you say you are, you don't give a damn about the consequences because you know you're protected. You know who you are. And you're not intimidated or threatened and insecure because of what they might say and because of what they might do. Break into my house. Let me see you with a weapon. I don't give a fuck what the law say. I don't give a fuck what everybody else say. I'm not going to sit there and try to talk to you. I'm not going to sit there and try to reason with you. It is what it is. It is what it is. It's a hard word. And I know it's going to piss some of you off. It's going to bother some of you. It's going to trigger some of you. It's going to offend some of you. That's not my intention, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? I'm not sugarcoating shit just to be accepted. I'm not tiptoeing around topics just to be accepted. I'm not walking on eggshells just to be fucking liked. That's not who I am. That's not what I'm about. Man, I thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for watching these videos. I thank you guys for, man, just all of your support, your love, your energy. Man, family, we got a long way to go. We have a long way to go. You know what I mean? But I believe with every fiber of my being that we can make it there. We're going to make it there. We're going to change the world. One person, one heart, one mind at a time. I love you guys. Happy healing. Peace.